Yo, what's up? Aren't these lives weird? I did a live last week. I was live for like the first 3 minutes and there were like 2 people in the whole thing. I said 2, but I did 0. No opinion on Shiba. Varg, what's up? Although opinion 2020, you might want to hold tight because my friend is going to be joining in a second and she might have some thoughts. Oh, let me invite Iris. We're going to be talking about crypto. This is Nobody Was Fooled. Opinion 2020. I don't know much about Shiba. If you want to throw a little money in just for fun, anything that you're okay with losing, just look at it like a Powerball ticket. Hey, Rice Gobbler, what's up? Why these dips keep getting bought in a day? What do you mean? Why the dips are not lasting long term, like a big sell-off? Or why they're just reversing in the afternoons? Yo, Lawless. I'm just bringing a friend in a minute. So I'm waiting for her. She'll invite me soon enough. Maybe I have to invite her. Oh, she's not live. Not live yet, but she will be. Hi. What's up? What's up, Lawless? What's up, everybody? Yo. Yes, I've been buying a lot of stuff. Slowly, because I don't know what's happening. I'm not going to go all in on anything. I don't know what LEDs is. Is that a crypto or a stock? Oh, LEDs? Wait. Yeah, I'm always buying and selling. I had a trade today. I bought some stuff on the dip over the last few days. My largest position is in Dogecoin. And then outside of that, I have 400 or 500 shares of Apple. I have 100 shares of Facebook, small stuff like that. I don't know what LEDs is though. I don't know what they make or do, and I'm not at my computer, so I can't look. But if you if you want to comment on my most recent video and just ask, I'll follow up. My average on Doge is 19 cents at the moment. No, I think it's going to be different from the .com bubble burst because technology is really moving at a rapid rate now. Oh yeah, Cardano. Hey, Anu. It says Coke Zero, but it's just water. Yeah, Cardano, Anu. I was watching it. I'm going to talk about this in a moment because I'm bringing in a friend. And we're going to talk about crypto. But Cardano was $1.50. I don't know, whenever it was. Last week it was $1.60. So maybe a couple weeks ago when it was in the 150s, I was watching it and it had just had some massive run. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll catch it on the pullback. And then I looked again and it was 170. And then I looked again and it was 190. And I'm so much in the mentality of a stock trader. No, it's a surprise. Lawless. But I'm so much in that stock trader mentality that I wait for pullbacks in I do with stocks. Nalima and I are going live next week or so sometime. We just have to figure it out because she's in England. I don't want to make you stay up so late. Hey, Jay, what's up? I would not mentor traders because the sheer number of DMs that I get from people going will you be my mentor? If I was a full-time either I have to prioritize who I want to mentor, I'll mentor you but nobody else, or I mentor everybody and then I stop trading, so then I need to charge to make money because this is my full-time job. I'm a full-time trader. It's not like I'm a lawyer or something like that who makes money. Should we try to get casinos to accept Doge? I don't think they will. Hi, Allie. Everyone should follow Sage Galaxy. She just joined. Or Adult Entertainment? I don't know. I mean, do they accept any other cryptos at casinos? Or on certain websites? But anyway, so the point is for G32, I wouldn't mentor, but I do the best I can on TikTok and on YouTube to just put out the content that everyone, has questions about. Hey, boo. Follow her. Follow Sage Galaxy. She is the new one on the scene for crypto, and she has a lot of really helpful videos for people who are new to crypto. So if you've got questions, if you're a beginner like me, yeah, it's hard. So Nalima, it's hard. I would imagine it would be hard to be a mentor because, you've got 6 different people asking 6 different questions with 6 different time frames. I can trade occasionally. I don't want to trade. I want to invest. I want to day trade, swing trade. And we get to, yeah, I suppose I could set up a private Zoom. At some point. Iris, hi. I'm waiting for my friend to join, but she's running late. I don't know what's going on. But everyone should go follow Iris, please. She's also new. Well, she's not so new. She's been around for a while, but she's, I guess, new to me. Jolene is in here. Hi, Athena. Everyone go follow Iris. I just woke up from a nap too. Iris, where do you want your cabin to be or your farmhouse? Because someone just joined in here. Best investments for beginners. I don't, you're right, Nalima. Oh, you started in January. Okay. Welcome. I started in 2011, so a little longer. Hey, Billy Bruce. Hey, Daddy. Nalima, you're right. It's Sierra. Iris, hold on. Oh, you just woke up from a nap. Yeah, I also want a cabin in the woods. Lawless. Montana. So I don't know where you live, but I'm in Washington, D.C., and I'm looking at West Virginia. Oh, started your TikTok in January. Chris, I don't trade SPY or QQQ, but I have a friend who buys the weekly options, the weekly call options on SPY and QQQ, or the weekly puts, depending on, how the markets are doing. Lawless, year to date, this is the best year that I've ever had. And last year was the best year that I ever had. But I'm already on track. I'm up like 18% on the year, which is pretty unusual this early on. Lawless, no, I'm not moving. Teebs, hey, what's up this way? You're in Canada, right? I want like a weekend place in West Virginia. Iris, if you're still in here, which you are because you just shared. I want I wonder where she is too. Come on, Sierra. Billy Bruce, my day has been great. I want a weekend place in West Virginia because like DC, West Virginia, it's like 2 hours from here. And that's as long as I would want to drive. Photosynthesis today? What does that mean? Yeah, Chris, big profits on the Iris, I don't know where you live. West Virginia is not particularly like worth going like way out of your way for. Like Sleep Number? Oh, you're in Chicago. I like AMC. I think it has potential as a short-term COVID sort of like recovery. You just have to think about like how the news is going to blow it up, right? I mean, the theaters are kind of already open, which is actually something I should ask Sierra because she went to the movies. Movies. I'm writing it down. Oh, green across the board. Yeah, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. I got it. Now I get your joke. My neighbors. You just applied to study abroad in Germany? If you can hear my noisy neighbor yelling, I'll close the window. Um, yeah, Lawless. They have some, like, I think the Mortal Kombat movie was in theaters, and I think they have like a few, like, very limited release in certain states. I haven't been to the theaters yet, although I got that vaccination, so I can now. Oh, there's a ton of new movies out. Yeah, I think, like, I remember Vin Diesel was like pushing really hard for Fast 9 to be in theaters. Um, so I think I don't know. So Jay Beto, I don't know if you're still in here. Did you want me? Hey, see. Hello.
Hi everyone. Hello. Sorry, I was in the middle of posting I was doing a post like right before this, and they won't
Okay.
let you go live until it's posted.
Oh,
But they so I just but the little bar that was like telling you that it's like it just literally took forever. It was
that's so weird.
yeah. And you can't post another video and you can't go live when one is loading.
Right.
So it's whatever. But I'm
Usually
here.
it takes
So,
like 5 seconds. Hi.
hi.
How's it going?
I am good. I am in a different scenery today. The last 2 days actually I've been in my living room. So
Okay.
we're here. I've got my laptop still, so we're ready to go.
Right on. No. Who's that guy on your wall?
No McGregor today.
No
No
Conor
no
McGregor.
external inspiration. It's on you and me.
Okay, we can do it. Let's see. Some people were asking questions about. I got a question about AMC, and I wanted to ask you because I remember you posted that video where you went to the theaters. So what'd you see?
Yes. So it was pretty empty. There was about 4 people there. They are still advertising. I don't know if anybody knew this or if you guys go to AMC, but there's also advertising going on right now where you can rent the whole theater for $100.
Yeah.
And thank you. But oh, that's so sweet. Yes, so you still have that option to go ahead and rent the theater. So you can tell that they're still trying to push sales while people slowly come back to theater. Because I know for me, I was itching for it. I cannot wait till the end of this month. Quiet Place 2 comes out. I will be seeing it in theater. I prefer AMCs. I don't know if all of the AMCs around the country are this way, but they have the seats that recline and they're very spacious, very comfortable environment. So people are coming back, you know what I mean? The business is going to start moving its share price on its own fundamentals of the company and their own profit margin. I think it's going to pull away from the whole heavily traded aspect, and it's going to start moving based off of the actual company.
Right. What movie did you see? Did you say and I just forgot?
No, I saw The Wrath of Men with Jason Statham. I was very excited about it. I won't give any spoilers away for anyone who wants to see it, but it was Jason Statham's used to being the like spy with all these magical kick butt powers, and he still had a little bit of that, but it was very dark, very broody. It was not like a normal like action flick. It was like a drama mixed with action, and it was great. It really was.
Cool. I want to see it. Jay wants me to tell my Sleep Number story. Do you know Sleep Number, like the beds?
I know the beds, yeah. Yep, I know the company.
My ex really wanted one, and so we ordered one. We went to like the store, and they gave us like the really hard sale. They were like, it's the greatest mattress of all time, and it inflates, and she can have her number, and you can have your number. And we like tested it out, and we were like, okay, and we ordered it. And she's a teacher, and since I'm like, stock trader, work from home, I was like, I'll just be here when they get here. So the crew comes over, and they're like, we've got your mattress. They come up, they take away the old one, they start assembling the new one. And I'm watching them, like I'm standing there watching them assemble this. And they have like a big plastic like zipper thing, and they unzip it, they put it in the frame of the bed. Then they get foam like rectangles, and they like outline the bed, and they put one piece of foam in the middle, because we got a king size bed, so we can put one side of foam in the middle, and then they get these little air mattresses, and they put the air mattress on the one side, and they put the air mattress on the other side, and they plug them in, and they inflate them, and then they put on a very thin like sheet on top, and they zip it, and they're like, okay, see you later. And I was like, is that it? And they were like so proud. They were like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, no, I mean, like, that's it to the, this was like, whoa, my neighbor dog. That was like, I was like, that's like, it was like $2,000 or $3,000. And I was like, it's like an air mattress with foam. That's it? And they were like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, oh, I was like really unhappy. And they left, and it was so uncomfortable. We hated it. And we called them, and we were like, we want our money back. This guy says this is your best story. We were like, we want our money back. And they were like, oh no, it takes like 3 to 6 weeks for you to adjust to it because you have to find the right number. But the warranty was like 8 weeks. So we were like running out of time, and we were like, no, like we're already 3 weeks into this mattress. Like we want our money back. And they were like, no, let's like, we're going to send you like a foam insert, like a really thick foam insert. And that took like a week and a half to arrive in the mail, and we put it in, and we were like, nope, it's still uncomfortable. And no, you have to get used to it. You have to get used to it. And we were like, you're trying to run us out of our warranty, our money back thing. And we like, yeah, we were like, clock's ticking, buddy. And they made it really, they were like, well, let me escalate it to our like higher up department, and they'll call you back in a couple days. And we were like, no, like we got pissed. We were like, no, put the like your boss on the phone. Like we went like full Karen, and they were like, fine, sorry. If you want to, you can get your money back, but you have to mail it back to us. And we were like, we don't have boxes that big or cars that big to fit like a king size, come
multi-piece
on.
mattress.
Yeah, we were like, no, have your guys come back and pick it up. And they were like, no, we don't, like, that's not how we do it. You gotta like wrap it up yourself. So we went and we got like 4 boxes and just like shoved this all in. We had to take 2 cars and go to the post office and return it. And like the next day we called Purple, and we were like, we want one of your mattresses. Like those, like, they come in like, they decompress it. They come in a box, and it's like round, and they, like they cinch it up. And, we live in like a walk-up, or we used to live in a walk-up apartment. So we had to carry this like, 180-pound mattress up like the 4 flights of stairs to get it in. So that has absolutely nothing to do with stocks, except for, I guess, that Sleep Number is publicly traded, and I wouldn't go near it. Oh, and for like the longest time, I trolled them on Facebook, and I was like, don't buy it. It's an air mattress. You're wasting your money. And they were like, we're going to block you, and we're going to like, they got really pissed at me. But I thought people should know. It was
just
like
crazy, because that's nothing that you would expect after seeing those commercials like everywhere.
Yeah.
And they even have stores in malls now.
That's
I don't know if you've seen it, but like they have like Sleep Number stores now in the mall. I'm gonna start going into them and like taking the sheets off so that I can see the mattress.
Yeah, we went to the store. That's where we actually like tried it out, and they don't open it up and like, short their stock, someone says. They don't open it up and show you like, look, you literally, honestly, you could go to Walmart and get 2 air mattresses and some foam and make it yourself. That's really all it is. So I wouldn't go near their stock because I hate those beds. But I love Purple, and I think Purple's actually publicly traded too.
I have one that's a similar company. I think it's called Nectar.
Yeah,
and that's where we got ours.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were between Nectar and then when we broke up, I like called Purple, and I was like, I want another one, but they're so expensive, but they're the best. So I highly recommend.
Nectar had a sale when I got mine, so that's where I would have gone to next.
Yeah. So that's my Purple and
Sleep
Number story. Yeah. Don't buy their stock or their beds. I mean, maybe their stock is okay, but I would feel bad if you bought one of their beds. How's your week been for trading?
Overall, a little red. Let me see. I have a bed called Plank, and it's super for mattress. I love it. So they have Plank. But other than that, I would say I had a really good week continuing with World Series of Golf, which I posted about yesterday. But other than that, a lot of things have been down. There's certain parts of my portfolio that are still significantly up, but that's because They've jumped up so much since I got them anyway. They're not continuing to grow though. I'm just up on them because I haven't taken profits.
Yeah.
Just because these are a couple of my like longer hold stocks that I'm confident will get back to their pre-pandemic highs probably by next summer. So those ones they're basically keeping my portfolio afloat right now. I'm in like 2 other swing trades and I just didn't bother until I could get like reacclimated and stuff into for like the next probably 2 weeks. I'll just keep the 2 swing trades that I'm in and hopefully, you know, hit the margins that I want to get to and then pull out and kind of just reset my stock portfolio. Just trying to identify what sector I want to be trading in because the swing trading sectors kind of shift because some are going to be obviously more fast moving and more active than others. So I'm kind of just trying to reset and figure out which one I want to start trading as we get into summer months.
Do you have 2 separate accounts? Like I know a lot of traders are really big fans of having like my investment account and my trading account. Do you do that?
I actually have 3 accounts.
Okay.
So I have my long-term, like I'm never going to trade these. They're high dividend stocks and I'm going to keep them for basically forever for right now. And then I have longer term, so I have my investment portfolio is what I would consider that long term. Then I have long-term trades as in they have a number. Like I know what I'm going to trade them at, but it's going to take like a year or 2 to get there based off of my research and due diligence. And then I have my swing trading. So, and I actually just opened my swing trading. I moved it over to TD Ameritrade because a couple of the people that I've been working with on I guess I would say like the people who did one-on-one Zoom calls with me, a lot of people utilize TD Ameritrade, and to be able to help people a little bit more, I wanted to be acclimated with that that portfolio, with that platform. So that's where I moved all my stuff to recently.
Yeah, that's why I always recommend TD Ameritrade because like when I first started, all my YouTube videos are based on Ameritrade. And so my thought was like someone actually before you came on was asking if they could do like if I would mentor them. And I was like, look, it just takes too much time because I'm a full-time trader. So if I were to if I took on every single person, I get DMs all the time. Like, will you mentor me? And it's like, if I took on everyone who asked, I wouldn't be trading anymore. So I'd have to charge for mentors, or I would have to like pick and choose. Like, yeah, I'll mentor you, but sorry, I can't. And I was just like, the easier way to do this is just to have a YouTube channel where people can ask me questions that they would be asking anyway. Oops, where'd she go? Hi, you're back.
I'm here. I had to turn the brightness up on my screen. Everything got very dark.
They would like, you can ask me the questions that you'd be asking if you were in like a mentorship program. You can ask them to me and I'll answer them here or I'll answer them on YouTube, but I use Ameritrade. And so if you're all going to be like, when you do your scanner videos, if I'm talking about like, here's how I set up my scanner, here's how I set up my charts, it's all easier if we're all just on the same page. Like I don't have any like allegiance to Ameritrade. It's just what I've been using for the last like 12 years. So I'm used to it. I like it. I'm not switching to go to like, Schwab or Webull. I know people love them. I'm sure they're fine. It's just, this is what I use and this is what everything is based off of. On my YouTube channel. So I get sometimes people go like, well, how do I do this on Schwab or how do I do this on E-Trade? I don't know. That's why I say it's easier if we're all on Ameritrade. That's the reason.
I use E-Trade primarily. So E-Trade is where I started. E-Trade is where I go. So when people ask me questions and stuff all the time, they're like, oh, like, well, where do you get this? Like, oh, well, I know where I get it. Like, it's not necessarily where you're going to get it. It's just I use E-Trade. And the only reason that I, switched, and I think E-Trade it's got such amazing academic tools and a lot of, but I will say that from what I've experienced so far, I think that TD Ameritrade's set up to almost be a little bit more friendly to people who are a day in swing trading, where like I really like E-Trade's ability. It's user friendly when you're just buying things and putting them in your portfolio. But when it came time for me when I started trading options, I don't do a lot, so don't get excited, everyone. I only do I did basic covered calls. It was not user friendly at all on E-Trade, and you would look up videos on YouTube because that's what we do now. If you have a question, you look it up on YouTube. All of them are super old videos, like ones from 2019, which is not applicable to how you would set one up now. But what I found is that not TD Ameritrade, E-Trade has their own. So TD Ameritrade has Thinkorswim. E-Trade has one that they don't advertise, and it's literally called Power. And
I've never heard of that.
It's called E-Trade, and it's just called Power. Like if you go in the App Store and you type in E-Trade, it's like the next one down, and it's basically the Thinkorswim to E-Trade. It's E-Trade
Okay.
Power, and it makes things super user friendly for options trading, for information. It's super informative. I was so happy to find it, but I had no idea, and there was no information about it anywhere. It just one day was a sponsored ad on my E-Trade. So I'm like, what is this? And I clicked on it, and I'm like, why don't they tell you this right when
It's
you
weird
got
that they don't
on?
tell you that when you log on, that they have this,
Yep.
right? Like Ameritrade has it. They're like, if you want a more advanced trading setup, here's our Thinkorswim, and you click on it, and it tells you how to download, and you can get it
Yeah.
on. I was going to pick up my phone, but this is my remote. Yeah.
I've seen it more frequently now. So I think maybe it's either new or people are saying the same things that you're saying. Like, oh, why aren't you telling people this? And it's coming out more now because more people.
They might be getting a lot of feedback on like Twitter, like, I didn't even know you had this. And I'm sure someone at E-Trade feels like an idiot. They're like, oh, we haven't been advertising this, because I had no idea they had it. I mean, people always ask me like, what's the, does a different brokerage have like a Thinkorswim alternative, or like Webull? Does Webull have something like that? And I'm like, I don't know. They might. I've never used it. So I couldn't tell you, but now that I know, because I get a lot of E-Trade questions. My mom has a question because she's in here, and she wants you to answer it because I think she likes you. How often should a portfolio be reset? Summer months, seasonally?
So for like I was talking about earlier with like a swing trading point of view, because I don't do this full time, so it's probably different for like you, because you trade full time, so you know what works when. For somebody who's a swing trader and like just a long-term investment holder, you look for things that are going to be in certain seasons. I know we talked about it last time, but with Stim, it's one that I do invest in it, and it's because, I get ready to get into it now is when it's dropping, so that in the fall and winter it goes up because everyone gets their antidepressants. So it's like sometimes you have to think about those, no matter which way it sounds. But I reset mine, and I start to reset my thinking seasonally. Like it's not every couple of so basically it would be every couple of months, but I do seasonally, because you'll find that certain sectors do perform better at certain times. It was harder to see during this giant bull run that we just went through, because everything was hot, everything was moving all of the time. But now we're starting to regulate back to where we were before, and we all have to start paying attention. Any new investors who came in are really going to have to start doing their due diligence and their research to see which sectors they can get away with swing trading more frequently, because your old ones aren't going to work.
Yeah, the swing trades totally change. And as far as like redoing like a whole portfolio, like an investment portfolio, someone named Ray in my comment side said, don't treat the portfolio as a whole, do it stock by stock, which is kind of how I reset my portfolio. For my trades, I don't really do resets because I'm in and out of them so frequently. For my long-term investments, I do it as a stock by stock basis, and sometimes it's if the news changes or if the fundamentals in the company change, if they're like taking on like an unbelievable amount of debt, or if their revenues are slowing, or if they're getting a lot of downgrades. I'll read the downgrades and see what's up. Like a lot of the time, these downgrades are just like hedge funds pushing a stock down so they can get it at a lower price. At least that's what I feel sometimes. Like they'll come out and they'll say like, oh, the fundamentals have changed. We don't like the company anymore. We're dropping the price target from 20 to 15. Then it hits 15. And what happens like the very next day? They come out and they're like, wow, what a great buy it is at $15. We love it. We're going all in at 15. And you're like, didn't you just say you hated it? And they're like, yeah, but now that it's at 15, we love it. And it's like, but you like, it's like a pump and dump. Like on CNBC, like you're driving the prices down. It's like the opposite of a pump and dump. It's like a dump and pump, because they're like, no, get rid of it, and then it tanks, and then they're like, we love it now. Nalima said, it must take a lot of time to do YouTube, though. I can't get to that level of time commitment. Do you have a YouTube channel?
So I had started doing YouTube when I really started to take off on TikTok, and it was a lot to do at one time. I wanted to go live two days a week on TikTok, and then I wanted to post a new live video every Wednesday to my YouTube channel. And I had started off by doing kind of like an uninterrupted version of whatever I talked about that Tuesday, but it was a lot to refilm and go through my notes. And
Yeah.
it was now they have the shorts feature, so sometimes I will just take some of my more informative TikToks and I'll just post them to YouTube. But I will have to say that because YouTube's just such a renowned system where anyone's on it, there's so many more mean people on YouTube. Like I've had people just like come at me in the comment section, like out of like just with like complete disdain for my information. Not even saying that it was like bad information. They just like had a problem with me giving the information. I had talked about SOS. I put all of the stock of the month videos up there. And the very first one was simply discussing the lawsuit. And somebody came at me like they had all of their money invested in SOS. They're like, how dare you like disparage this company and talk so poorly? I'm like, I didn't come at this with anything but information for my followers. Like, this is just information. This isn't even my opinion. Like, I'm just giving you the facts. And they were not having it. I found way more criticisms on YouTube, which isn't necessarily why I stopped. It's easier for me to do 60-second videos on TikTok and hopefully just transfer it over later if I'm not working full time in the future.
Yeah, I started my YouTube channel, and I'm getting some interesting comments that I'm going to tie into my answer. I started my YouTube channel before I was on TikTok, and I got like no views on my videos. And then I had this Instagram account, which also got like no views. Nobody, I had like 185 followers at the end of the year. And someone told me get on TikTok. I got on TikTok. It exploded. I went from 185 followers on TikTok to like obviously on Instagram to like obviously, you know, like I have like 124,000 here on TikTok. And my YouTube channel went from 50 subscribers to almost 8,000 on YouTube. And I liked doing YouTube videos at first because I could answer like in more like long form answers. Like, you know, TikTok, it's a little harder because someone is like, can you explain the relative strength or MACD or something like that? And I'm like, not in 60 seconds, dude. And like, I try. And like, you know, the one thing that you leave out, they like get on you in the comments. And you're like, well, you didn't mention it. It's like, I have 60 seconds. Or I'll do like a 2 or 3 or 5 part series on TikTok to try to get like everything in, and I'll label it like part 1, part 2, part 3, and someone will watch part 4 and be like, well, why didn't you talk about this? And I'm like, did you watch the other 3 previous videos? And they're like, no. And I'm like, maybe you should. But so it was a little harder, and like editing the videos took time, and it just was a little time consuming, and like honestly I just kind of got bored having to do that, like upload the video, edit the video, post the video. But I still do, like I was doing some technical analysis walkthrough videos, which were helpful. And also, so Ray asked the question, are you making money on YouTube? Yes, but not very much. On YouTube, they make it really difficult for you to get monetized. You need 1,000 subscribers, which was like the easy part. And then you need 4,000 watch hours, which is really hard to get 4,000 hours. And the way that they had it set up was you have 1 year to get that 4,000 hours of views. And if the year expires and you're at like 3,900, it resets back to 0. And you got to do it all over again. And I had like 1 month left on my like year, and I was at 3,800 like watch hours, and I was freaking out because I had like really been hustling to try to see if I could get monetized. And then of course I did get monetized, and it was like, you know, 80 cents, $2. So unless you really blow up on YouTube, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of not worth it from a money standpoint. I like it because I can talk a little longer. And then Iris Ayala, is that how you say your last name? If you were in here, which we're gonna go live, do you follow Iris? She said she just joined in January. She said the same thing that you did. She said that's why I'm on TikTok. People are relatively nicer. I actually haven't gotten a lot of Iris. Hi, Ayala. Is that how you say it? I haven't gotten a lot of mean comments. I wonder why, Sierra, you've been getting so
It's
many mean comments. Could
it's
it be that
mean.
you're a woman?
I mean, it easily could be. So it's
Yeah.
not even just like, it wasn't even just mean on YouTube. Like, I could care less if you're mean, because that means that you're coming at me from like whatever type of standpoint. You just don't agree with what I'm saying, and the world doesn't know how to have differing opinions and still listen to another side.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to meet someone that you have just completely different view sets on, and you be able to still cooperate and have a conversation. It takes a very developed mind that I don't think we find on YouTube follower comments.
Yeah.
And then on here, the very few comments that I've got that have been mean, or there's a couple people that disagreed with things that I said. I posted a response to a video today about somebody who kind of took a jab because I had, not boosted, but I did a video about Ada, about how excited I was to be able to buy it, and their comments just didn't make a lot of sense, and it wasn't at me. But it was just a comment that I thought needed a little bit of correction. But the only other comment I've gotten was that guy who said that my teeth needed to be fixed. And I'm like, I've had braces on for 3 years. Like, I'm like, just because my angle like makes it look like 4 of my teeth are missing sometimes because of lighting, like it's not necessary to say. It's
Yeah.
just
I don't understand it. Iris says that she doesn't get a lot of mean comments either, but on TikTok usually there's someone who defends you, which is nice. I don't get it. Like when you if you like put it on like a pie chart, like men versus women and how they're treated on this app. I just before we went live, I was scrolling through and there was a video of a woman, and she was like, I'm sitting in my car, I'm eating Taco Bell in the parking lot, and there's a woman in her car next to me, and she's also eating Taco Bell, and I'm listening to a podcast, and she's listening to a podcast, and it's nice to have a buddy. That was the whole video. And someone in the comments was like, you have a lot of zits.
like, why?
What does that have to do with anything? It was like a totally nice video, and then you went and ruined her day, and like, come on, dude, like do better. I don't understand it. But the amount of comments that I would imagine women get versus men are so much more like looks based. Like I'll get people who argue with me on like, oh, you're wrong about this chart or something. Yeah, Iris says people are just more comfortable attacking women. I've had, and there's a lot of teenagers on here. Yeah, but that doesn't, you're probably right, but that doesn't make it okay. And I think that's the issue. Like I had a lot of people when I posted that video, the last time we went live together, I told you this earlier today, the last time we went live together, someone got upset on my side of the comments. So if you're watching, just so you know, Sierra has her own views and her own comments, and I have my own views and comments, and we can't see the comments on each other's. Like I can't see what people are commenting on hers. And someone in my comments was like, why are you letting her talk so much? And I was like, because it's a dialogue, bro. Like that's what this is. Like, are you? And I like at first I was just like, maybe they were saying, why are you letting her talk so much? Like I didn't address it in the live because I was thinking maybe they meant like, why are you letting her talk so much? Like this is your platform. Why are you giving her time on yours? And like not like a male or female thing. But then after like Nalima posted that she was gonna leave, and she's in my comments now saying she gets a fair amount of hate. After that, I started paying attention more, and I remembered your video where the guy was like, "Fix your teeth," and all the stuff that, and it's not even like when I posted that video where I was like, you guys need to do better. It's not okay. I got a lot of comments where they were like, "Learn to be tougher, get a thick skin. This is the internet," and it's like that's not okay. Like it doesn't like. It's not about having a thick skin. It's about being respectful and being nice. Like, don't be an asshole. It has nothing to do with like that they're thin skinned or that their feelings got hurt. It has to do with like, you need to do better and be more respectful. It's not, you can't justify like excusing their poor behavior because it's the internet and just toughen up. It still doesn't make it right. And that's when I started like thinking back and like, I remembered that comment from the last live that we did where they were like, why are you letting her talk so much? And I was like, I think they meant in terms of like, why you, I don't know. I don't know if they were like upset that I was giving a woman time to talk about this. So I wanted to ask you what you think. Yeah, basic human decency, like just be decent. Sorry, I'm reading through. I got a lot of comments.
No, you're okay.
Hey, medic. Truly Boosted says, loving the beard. Thank you. But they'll like, I don't get a lot of comments about my looks. And it seems like no matter what, like I'm talking about finance, people keep it on finance. But when a woman talks about finance, it's like, why are you wearing a hijab? Why are your teeth crooked? Why do you have pimples? It's like, come on, dude. Yeah, Iris says, I've never left a hate comment, and I'll always find it weird how comfortable people are doing it. I think we just need to call them out more for their behavior.
Yeah, on this side, I have it says keyboards make some people into meme giants. You know, you don't have your face behind these comments. And the funniest thing is the people that are always talking all of these mean comments, things that are not necessary whatsoever, the people that are posting them, you go to their page and they don't have any content. Like, you're on this site to troll. You're on this site looking for either some problem to have or some funny videos and stuff to see, and you stumble upon, a certain fall, and you feel the need to share your opinion that wasn't asked for. And it makes it I think that we all could do better. Like, it costs 0 cents to mind your own business. Like, it costs you $0 to keep scrolling. It's not going to cost you a second of your life to keep your opinion to yourself. There's just no need for it, because what you might think and what automatically jogs a comment in your brain, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this or this is happening. You don't know that person. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what happened before they left the house that day. And you just don't know what somebody is going through. There's no reason to add your opinion into a situation that it wasn't asked for.
Yeah, and you also don't know, like, when you're saying, like, well, they should just get a thick skin, like, maybe you have a thick skin, but someone who's reading the comments, it might affect them a different way. Someone might see it and just brush it off and be like, whatever, buddy. But someone who's reading the comments, it might prevent them from then going and creating content because they don't want to get unnecessary hate. I've had a lot.
Exactly.
When I did that video, I got a lot of DMs from women who were saying, like, I really want to create content, but I don't want to feel like I have to put on makeup every time. Not because they have to feel like they have to look pretty, but because they don't want to get comments going like, wear makeup and stuff like that. So they're just thinking like all of the things that they're going to have to do in order to avoid any sort of conflict. It's just not worth it. And I think Nalima and I were talking about this the other day. It's not just about the thick skin. It's about the time and the mental energy that it takes to scroll through all that stuff all the time. You can have a thick skin and just brush off the hateful comments. But someone asked me what my motivation is for having this channel. My motivation for having this channel is to teach as many people as I can how to invest and maybe consider trading stocks. If that's my motivation, but I'm spending like 20% of my time on this app deleting racist comments or sexist comments, it's not worth my time anymore. It's just draining, like, mentally. Like, why am I on here if I'm just deleting racism, racist comments all the time? Forget it. I'm not going to do it. So for all the people who are like, they think they're being funny or whatever, where they drop in and say, like, fix your teeth or whatever, you're potentially being the reason that someone is not going out there and creating helpful content that can help people invest
sharing
or
their
save.
Opinions. Yep.
Yeah. Somebody said, let me find it because I want to call them out. Oh, where did they go? Oh, no. Who was the one who said Sierra is the best? I was going to mention you.
Oh, thanks.
We're here to make money. Yeah, we're here to make money. Let it go about, like... Iris says, I started creating content here because I have no one else to talk about this stuff with in real life. And that's like... Oh, it was James... and a whole bunch of numbers. James 95 says Sierra rocks. She's the best.
Yes, yes, I know James.
Yeah. Um, See, Iris says, I created content because I had no one here to talk to about this. And I kind of relate to that because, um, I work for myself in my house as a stock trader. I don't have friends who are stock traders. I have friends who are like lawyers and, doctors and stuff, and they don't invest and they don't know anything about the stock market. And like, I don't know if you feel this way, but like, or how long have you been trading and investing?
About 2 years for stocks, and then, well, a little bit before that, I had a long-term portfolio, but I actively started trading about 2 years ago.
Okay, so COVID hadn't happened yet. So I don't know if you relate, like when you go to parties or a dinner party or something, and someone says, "What do you do?" and you say, "I'm an investor. I'm a stock trader." Do they like totally freeze up on you?
I've had some people that are like immediately disinterested. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's one of those." Like,
Right. Yeah. I usually, if I'm like at a party or a dinner party and I say I trade stocks, they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" Like they don't even like because it makes them so nervous talking about finance because largely like so many people have no idea how to do this sort of
mm-hmm.
stuff. Whether, I mean, I'm not even talking about trading, but just like investing. Um, and so it was nice to have this community here on TikTok, like what Iris was saying. All of a sudden, I have friends who are stock traders now, like you, and I can text you and be like, "Did you see what happened with whatever today?" And I didn't used to have that, so that's why I really that's why I like this app. And I also think it's important. I wanted your perspective on more women getting into investing.
I think that it's a powerful piece of knowledge to have. And I think that more women need to understand that it's not a man's world in finance. And I'm pretty sure the statistic still stands that 70% of women already handle the finances in their families. So
Yeah.
there's not that much different to be able to rework yourself and understand that you could better your life in the future by learning to invest in things now, and not just investing. I mean, I'm not going to call it in my free time. I've made it a little bit more um almost more. I treat it a little bit more of like my second job. My part-time job is to do my trading and everything like that, just because it takes up a little bit more of my free time and everything like that, and it helps me better myself and set things up for me and my family and stuff in the future. So Sierra is the new voice in stocks. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys, that's so nice. um but it's just, I think that it's such a power to be able to have. And it's not just because, you know, women don't need anyone else, like they could just do it all on their own. Like, it's not even a type of feminist movement. I just think it's just, as a human being, more like investing is an opportunity, and I feel like women discourage themselves from it because they think that it is something that is more for men.
Mhm.
And it's just not the case.
Yeah. I had a friend a couple years ago who called me when there was like some big market sell off, and she called and was like, "Should I be worried about my investments? Should I be concerned about the stock market?" And I hesitated for a minute, and I was like, "Why are you calling me?" Like her dad runs a hedge fund. And I was like, "Why aren't you asking your dad? Like, why do you ask me and not your dad?" And she's like, "Oh, my dad is like old school. Finance is a man's world. Like, go make dinner and go take care of the kids and be a stay at home mom."
Yeah.
And so we're doing this to our own kids. I mean, I don't have kids, but we're doing this to our own kids for those who have it. Where, I mean, at least I hopefully it's changing a little bit now. But like, you know, she never felt comfortable asking her dad for financial advice or to sit down and teach, because it was like, the men handle the finance, the men make the money, and you go and do your own thing. And she's like afraid to ask him these questions because she knows he's just going to say, "I'll handle it." And she doesn't want him to handle it. She wants him to teach her how to do this stuff. Um, Nalima says, "Well, there's a lot of comments in here."
I've got a lot of
Um,
love on this side, and then I have some people who have asked why Neo is so low today. They don't understand. Some people said that they're losing their shirt with SOS. We knew that was going to happen, guys. The lawsuit is still going on. That's not going to be much different for right now. Um, And then I'll answer the Neo one really quick before we get back to our thing, just because it's not really the type of TikTok we're doing tonight. But Neo is low today because there's an ongoing global shortage of semiconductors. So that's going to continue. And the fact that it's a Chinese electric car company, and Biden has not done the best at continuing Chinese relations. So that's just something to keep yourselves aware of moving forward. Semiconductors, Biden administration, not Chinese friendly. And we'll leave it at that, everyone.
So Ray's asking me, why do you say you're not a financial advisor? Why don't you just commit and give us advice? Why are you vague? Why put up the wall? Because I'm not a financial advisor. And so it's illegal for me to come out and give financial advice. And I could do like the wink wink thing where I say like, I'm not a financial advisor and this is just for entertainment, but here are the stocks that I'm buying. I still don't like doing that because I don't know your financial situation. And I could say like, hey, it's up to you if you choose to buy the stock and you lose all your money. It's up to you if you don't have a plan to cut your losses. That's your fault, not mine. That's not the goal of my channel, is to teach people how to trade and come to their own conclusions, which is why I always post my technical analysis videos like 2 weeks later, because the goal isn't for someone to go, I better copy what he's doing. That doesn't teach anyone anything.
Yeah.
So I'm vague because I don't want to be flooded with DMs going, I bought because you recommended, now what? I don't want to be responsible for people losing money, even though I wouldn't be, because I would have disclaimers up. It still isn't something I'm comfortable doing. And I don't know your financial situation.
I have I have a little bit different of an approach. So a lot of people don't understand, like, we tell you that we're not financial advisors because anybody who listens to us and then decides that they listen to us and that we're not actually there's the possibility there to be sued. So by doing that, we alleviate responsibility of you listening to us, because when it comes down to it, you're 100% in charge of your own portfolio, nobody else. What I do with my consulting side, the one-on-one Zooms and stuff that I offer, there are some people who have, we've enrolled in a little bit of a contract for, I don't do call outs, I don't do a Discord or anything like that, but I'll keep them more abreast of what I'm doing during the week. And I have a legal background. So if at any time, my dear Ken, you ever want to, if you did ever actually want to work out or do that mentorship and stuff, I could send you over my contract like that, because we do keep it very ironclad, which is why we keep things so vague, not because we don't have the ability to teach people what to be looking for, to look at what charts you should be investing in at that time. It's not that we lack that ability. It's that we can't be responsible for other people's mistakes, because that's the only time that they will come after somebody else, is when something doesn't go the way that we said it was going to go. When in reality, there is no guarantee in the stock market, cryptocurrency market. There's no guarantee in anything in life. And that's just one of the things that people just think that because somebody with a good amount of followers and some really awesome content, they must know the way. Or you've got there's a couple things out there that people are like really on top of it, and they're showing all their gains that they get all the time just to like reel you into their Discord. But then you get there and you enroll in the $10 a month and find out that the call outs are only in the $50 a month plan, but you really want to follow. And then you get there and it turns out you can't afford the trades that they're doing anyway. You know, I would rather be able to educate people to find that. That's what I mainly do in my one-on-ones, is I help people find the trading aspects that's going to work for them. The main people that I've worked with from the jump are beginners, people that they need to see and figure out which way they want to go with trading. I've helped people set up investment portfolios, and that option and stuff is there, but we have to protect ourselves, because I went to school for criminal justice. I am a state comptroller for a casino. I don't have the right to tell you what to do with your hard-earned money, but I do it for myself. So if you're asking me for a little bit of advice, I'm not going to give you financial advice. I'm going to cover my butt. You're going to sign a piece of paper, and then we can have a conversation. Like, it's usually that's the way that it works.
I don't want to tell people what to buy or what I'm buying. Like, I ask a lot, what are you buying? And I don't want to say what I'm buying, because then that makes me your babysitter. and I have to like keep in like, you don't know when I bought, you don't know how much I bought, you don't know what my exit strategy is to lock in my gains or to minimize my losses. You don't know any of that. And so if I just come out and say I'm buying this stock today, that doesn't really do you any favors. Like, you know, a ton of people will rush out and they'll buy it just because I said so. But when do I sell it? What's my stop loss? Or if I'm not using a stop loss, if I'm monitoring it, when will I get out? What happens if the technical analysis changes? There's too many variables there that make it more of like a full-time job where I have to like keep updating. Okay, now we're doing this, now we're doing that. I don't have any interest in that. I'd rather teach you, like you just said, I'd rather teach you, these are what you look for. This is how you decide. That's why when I post my technical analysis videos on YouTube, I'm walking you through the whole process. This is when I got in. This is when I would have gotten out at a loss. This is when I got out for a profit. Somebody in here says, my financial situation is simple. I'm broke. That's Redneck Dad 13. Hi, Jay. I don't know if Jay is still in here, Julie. Yeah, Nalima and I are going live next week.
Oh yeah.
And I feel a little bad because she lives in Wales and in the UK, and like the time difference to get like the most amount of views that make it worthwhile for her means that she's gonna have to stay up until like 1 a.m. to make it work. So like, you know, because I went live. Do you follow youth.finance? Do you follow him on here? He's from Switzerland.
I think so, because I saw the live.
Yeah, we went live last week, and we were trying to make it so like he wouldn't have to stay up too late. Like if we started at 7, then it would end at like 1 a.m. So I was like, let's start at 6. But then like really nobody was really in. Nobody really watched it because it wasn't at a time that was popular. I'm getting an unbelievable amount of comments that I need to catch up on. Are you invested in Nanocoin? My favorite.
I got the same exact. I know. I literally have that same exact person. Like, as much as I appreciate that, the fact that they went to both of ours seems a little spammy. And no.
Maybe I just didn't answer in time, so they wanted to go and see if you would respond.
I'm not invested in Nanocoin. I have heard about it. I've been reading up on it. It looks like it has some good utility, but I'm not ready or prepared enough to discuss it because I don't invest in that.
So I got a question. He wants to know, can you be completely honest and tell us your salary for the first year that you day and swing traded? The first year that I was trading, I made $13,500. And I was working the front desk at a gym. I was working from 4 to midnight at the gym, making $7 an hour, minimum wage in DC at the time. And I was phasing out working at the gym because I was losing interest in like that whole corporate 9 to 5 thing. They wanted me to do sales. I had no interest in doing sales at that point because it had become so corporate. And I was like, I need to figure out what to do because I'm not going to be happy in this 9 to 5 lifestyle. I know it. I already argue with my managers for stupid stuff like not tucking in my shirt and not, you know, like all these dumb, like little like corporate policy things. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this forever. So I started trading. I read a couple of books, which are in my link tree if you're interested. And I just started very slowly making a couple of trades. And because I had been living at home, I was living in my mom's apartment. My mom was living in New York, but I was living in her apartment in DC. I didn't have any rent. I didn't have any like major obligations financially. So even though I was just making minimum wage, it was over many years and it just piled up. I had tons of money, but I had no experience. I had no confidence as a trader. So my first year I made $13,000 because I was, and it was also, it was Obama's second term. So it was 2011. So the markets were still doing really, really well. Not as well as his first term. They were on fire. The second term, they kind of slowed down a little, but they were still profitable enough where I got a little cocky. I don't know if you felt that way too when you first started, but I felt like I was like the greatest trader ever because the markets were just doing really well, which is what I'm also concerned about for all these new traders who started in the last couple of years of like Trump's administration when the markets were going bananas and they were like, oh, I'm the greatest trader ever. This is so easy. I just buy and it goes up. And then they turn around and they sell a course because they think they're a genius. And it's like, dude, you've been trading for a year. I've been trading for 11. Like, this is not the new normal. But so for me, don't do that. Truly Boosted says, I trust you with my entire soul.
I have on this side real quick. Frankie, you know where to find me. I'll be there.
Yeah, Frankie. How do the guys sending out the newsletters do it? I'm sure, and Sierra, you could probably answer this better than me, but so those people, hey, Medic, thank you for all the presents. Oh, and Nalima, she said, I don't know who you mean by Connor. It's Options Trading Daily. He's Connor.
He was in here earlier. He sent me a flower.
Yeah, he sent me a present too. How do the guys who send out the newsletters where they say, like, here are the stocks for the week, like the pump and dump course guys, how do they cover themselves legally? You know, when
they put in really tiny fine print the same thing that we said. This is not financial advice, and you are 100% in charge of your own portfolio. That's literally it. You just put it. It's going to be somewhere in there. Some people have longer disclaimers, but in reality, all you have to say to be covered is, I am not a financial advisor. This is not considered financial advice. You are in charge wholly of your own portfolio. You are in charge of any profits you do or do not make, and you are in charge of any trades that you do or do not take. That's my disclaimer, but more legally on mine. And thank you for the flowers.
And also Varg is talking in here. So the Redneck Dad 13, who said my financial situation is that I'm broke. Varg responds, even when you're not broke, oh, I lost it. Even when you're not broke, keep that mindset, which I completely agree with.
Yeah, be minimalist. Don't. It's something that I've said, like, very much so since the beginning, is that you should have a budgeted amount of funds already set aside before you enter any sort of market, whether it's the cryptocurrency market or the stock market or even just plain old investing. You should not be doing any of that with money that affects your livelihood. You should have budgeted funds that, in all honesty, you would be completely fine with if you lost. That's the mindset that I have, is if I lose this, like, what's going to happen to the rest of my life? And if the answer is nothing, then go for it. Will it hurt your insides a little bit because you just lost $500 or $1,000? Sure. But did you have the availability to lose that? Then you can use that money. You shouldn't be using anything else.
Yeah. And I would also say, if you're on a roll, like a lot of people have been on rolls, realize that there's an element of it, like, that's beginner's luck, but there's also an element of it that, like, when everyone is getting into trading because everyone's talking about how hot it is, that it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
We have one of our trolls in here that we were talking so much about, people giving me their unsolicited opinion. It's fantastic. So we have over here by MSSEB01 says that I am the wrecking ball of investment. What benefit do you get for giving bad advice? How general? I don't even think I really just gave any advice. I basically said, don't mess with your livelihood. You don't trade with your income. If that's your game plan, have at it. And let me know in a year or two. Let me know exactly how it goes when you gamble your rent money on Doge. You know, by all means, let me know.
And you know, the funny thing about Doge is that when people talk about, like, GameStop or an AMC situation or Dogecoin right now, and they say, like, this is how we close the wealth gap. You don't close the wealth gap if you don't take profits, right? You don't close the wealth gap if you don't take profits. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and I said, I bought Dogecoin at under a penny, and I sold it when it hit 6 cents, and I bought a ton because it was under a penny. I could afford it. And I thought, like, if I lose it all, who cares? It's a minimal amount because it's so cheap. When it hit 6 cents, I was out. It dropped. I bought a little bit more. It shot up to 12 cents. And I was like, I've just doubled my money again. I'm out. And then it shot up to 42 cents the very next day. And I'm telling this friend about this. And she goes, you're smart. And that's why you kept getting out. If you were an idiot, you'd be rich right now because you're one of those it's going to go to the moon kind of people. And I'm just going to hold forever. But the problem is, eventually, you got to take some of these profits, man. Like, yeah, if I had bought it at under a penny and I sold it at 72 cents, I'd be sitting pretty right now. But I didn't know it was going to get to 72 cents. Nobody
knew. They were all just so hopeful because of all these people who were trading Dogecoin. And don't get me wrong, like I understand Dogecoin has changed. I'm not talking crap on Dogecoin in general. I'm talking about people's trading methods when it came to Dogecoin, AMC, GameStop, those ones. It got very tricky. There was tons of people out there that they made a lot of money, and there was a lot of people who lost a lot of money because they saw all these other people making a lot of money. So they went and bought it at that tippity top, not doing any of the fundamental research to know that it was at the ceiling and that they were left holding the bag. I have people over here that says you gambled 20K on Doge and doubled it. I don't know who they're talking about, but I didn't do that.
Not me.
And I have some people saying the blasphemy, talking about the guy who's talking junk, who I believe is still in here. Like, why even stay in here?
Because he has to fight.
And then I have a couple people standing up for me. I have Alyssa who said, told them to go kick rocks.
Yeah.
And then they said, yep, exactly. Oh, I gambled 20 euro. Okay. If you had the money to use, I don't like to use the word gambling in the stock market, but unfortunately, sometimes that's exactly what it is. Everyone's version of the moon is different. I completely agree with that, Justin. I think that's fantastic.
A lot of people already said that we did hit. A lot of people already said that if you look at the percentage gains from Dogecoin from like under a penny to where it is, it's already gotten to the moon. Percentage wise, what is it up? Like 24,000 or some absurd percent? Like you're never going to see that. You're never going to see a stock go up 24,000% in your lifetime, you know. And a lot of these cryptos are doing that, and people aren't taking their profits because they're being greedy, and they're looking at it and they're going, well, Bitcoin was 8 cents, and now it's 60,000, so therefore Dogecoin is 8 cents and it will be 60,000. Not really. Nalima is saying we had a monkey do it in the UK. He made more than some of the managers. I've actually heard that Nalima, oh, she's still in here. I think you worked for Goldman Sachs. And I've heard this story before, that in the early 90s, they brought a monkey into the brokerage at Goldman Sachs, and they put up like the S&P 500, like all the stocks on one side, and they put the S&P 500 on the other side, and they had the analysts pick the stocks that they thought were going to do well over the course of the next year on the left side. And then they gave a dart to the monkey, and the monkey just threw the dart randomly at the right side. And the monkey outperformed the analyst just by randomly throwing a dart at these stocks.
And that's how it happens and stuff sometimes. I have a funny comment over here. It says, I never hodl anymore for most of it. It's HODL. Hold on for dear life. I don't do that anymore because I have 2018 crypto bear market PTSD.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like people get PTSD on these stocks because they get really hurt. And then they miss out on these little runs that they're having, and then the hysteria gets in, so they get in, and they're getting in at the tippy top, and they're getting double hurt.
That is something. Love that GS story. I don't know. Matic is ATH, by the way. I do love Matic. I liked the nice boost that we had recently on that. And then I'm seeing some sad faces from our PTSD comment above.
Someone, Varg says, since we're on the topic of Doge, do you think it'll have a big jump in 6 to 8 weeks when it's on Coinbase? Is Coinbase adding Dogecoin?
I haven't heard that. Coinbase usually sticks to things that are a little bit more stable, but I'm not going to lie, it wouldn't surprise me just because I could see them having a little bit of a sellout moment to finally get it because a lot of people have been asking for it. But let me see if there's any news on that coming at all. We can continue while I search.
And Penny's point of view, Penny asks, oh no, we know what happens is I start reading a comment and then a whole bunch of new comments pop up.
And
my cousin sent me a link to buy Pi crypto, Pi. Is it legit?
Oh, so I have Pi. Feel free to go over and check my video and stuff on it. So it is legit, but what it is it's in a beta phase. So right now it's mainly just for fun. I've had a couple people comment, basically it's mining for Pi cryptocurrency on your phone. All of the information on what Pi is right on the website. It's actually an app, and basically you go on once a day to make sure it sounds, how I'm going to describe this to you sounds very MLM like. It sounds very pyramid schemey, where you have a higher mining count with the more people that are in your group. So I would suggest getting in on someone's group because you need an invite code. So I'm not saying use mine. There's a ton of, I didn't mind people throwing their invite codes in the comment section, but you'll see me, it's my face and there's a big purple background. It's about Pi. Now Pi is in its beta phases. So I have mined around 600 Pi right now. And for me, that's completely free. So for me, it's just fun right now. You can't do anything with that. It's in beta phases right now. So it's not like you can cash it out or do honestly anything with. All you can do right now is mine. But I had some people coming out and they're like, this is a scheme. Like, why would you recommend this? I'm like, because it's not hurting anyone and it's kind of fun to think about the possibility of mining cryptocurrency from your phone. I'm like, it is hurting 0 people. It costs 0 money. It's not taking a bunch of your information. It's not a scam. It's just a quirky little thing that's going through a beta phase right now. Feel free to do your own information and stuff on it. But it's just kind of fun to think about the possibility of mining cryptocurrency from your phone. No, you can't use it. So it really is, I'm not going to call it pointless right now. It's in a beta phase, so they can't really do anything else with it, but you can mine it.
As soon as we talked about Coinbase, everyone in the comments said, yes, as of yesterday, Coinbase said they were adding Dogecoin.
Yep. In 2 months, I've just found it.
Yeah.
It's right on Market Watch. Yep. Coinbase is coming to cryptocurrency platform. So my comment that would be towards that is I've said it a few times already. So Dogecoin started off as a meme coin. It came out with the thunder of just like going to the moon, like right away. It was developed and created as a joke. But as that joke rose and Elon Musk took hold of it, people thought that for longevity purposes that they should give the coin some added utility. Now, then you've got the following coins, all these other dog coins that came out, like Shiba Inu and Shih Tzu, and there's a couple other ones that they also came out with pretty good utility, and a lot of them had to do with things that take care of dogs, and I'm okay with that. That's pretty cool. But so for Dogecoin, it's gained utility. I haven't done all of the research and stuff on it, but it is a very utilized coin and token that we will be able to use in the cryptocurrency space. So if I do think that Coinbase, in my personal opinion, my 2 cents, is that they did sell out a little bit by adding it to their platform, but I think they did that because they wanted to add more people to the Coinbase platform. With that said, I still trust the Coinbase community in where they really only take in high profile, and when I say stable coin, I don't mean something, I mean something that's not going to disappear during the crypto winter that's coming up. I don't think that it'll disappear if it's on Coinbase. Coinbase genuinely only takes in stable coins with good utility and a promising future. So if Coinbase is taking on Doge, I'm going to trust that they did their due diligence and that things are looking better for actually what Dogecoin is.
Someone in my comments said, I think a realistic high for Doge will be around $10 if retailers start accepting it. And there are some retailers already. I think some stadiums, some like sport teams are accepting it. And
yep, I've heard of that.
I don't remember who else. Penny's point of view wants you to explain what a crypto winter is.
It's basically like the bear market for it's just a terminology sense that they use in the cryptocurrency like community. When you hit a crypto winter, it's just a bear market in the cryptocurrency space.
Is the reason behind it though? Like, so when they say, oh, there's going to be a sell-off in a couple of months, it's because they're saying, for stocks at least, the economy is slowing, or they're doing less hiring. There's going to be a slowdown in the market. So when they say there's going to be a slowdown in the crypto or bear market, is it based on just everyone saying it's going to happen, so it's going to happen, or is it because of the interest rates that they're concerned about? Like, what's...
So for right now, I think some of the biggest pieces of speculation that are out there is, one, things just go in phases very similar to the stock market, where we go in kind of waves. The bull market runs about every 4 years, which lines up with presidential election years. I feel like a lot of times it happens the same in the cryptocurrency space. They don't always align. They're not the same, but sometimes it just happens because it's a cycle and it's time for it to happen. But the things that we are looking up to next is there are a lot of states that are trying to heavily regulate cryptocurrency. And I think that that's going to shy away some buyers and some just traders in the cryptocurrency space. We have that to kind of not look forward to, but more and more states, and even at the federal level, they're trying to regulate cryptocurrency a little bit more heavily. So I think that that's going to be a big push for a little bit of the sell-offs. I think that people are going to, honestly, I think some people are going to run out of money. I know that Wendio talked about a big sell-off that happened with Shiba Inu, I believe yesterday. One of the main bag holders sold off $1 million of the coin. Now that was a dump. That was a dump of the coin. But he did it for a really good reason. He donated it, I think, to Africa for the help to help them combat COVID. So it was yes, it was a dump, but it was a good reason. But all those people holding Shiba Inu tokens and coins, I believe that the share price per coin went down pretty severely. I didn't look too much more into it than that, but that's going to happen more frequently with some of these other projects. There's meme coins popping up all over the place, and people get really excited about them, and they get really hot for them, and people throw in their money, and then it's but wait a second, this doesn't actually have any utility. And then and then the coin's gone. So as more stricter regulation comes up, those type of meme coins aren't going to be able to make it. They won't be able to cut it. They won't have the funds to stay afloat and pay taxes and all that type of stuff. So that's more or less what I think is going to contribute to the winter.
That might also help kind of streamline and cut out all the excess junk that's popping up too, though.
Yes, I agree with that.
Someone here, Corduroy, says, I have it. I guess he's talking about Dogecoin. I'm not really sure. I don't know if you know if they're still in here. He says, I have it, and I feel like I'm pushing the button like in the show Lost. Hey, Peg City is in here.
I have hello from Miami, so that's awesome. I have somebody Miami. Who says that they have 474 million Shiba, and they are currently up 17K. Well, good Holy for moly. You, sir. That's pretty awesome.
Miami, I love Miami. My favorite, what's the name of that restaurant that I like in Miami? I can't remember it now. It's Cuban food. Puerto Segura. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. That's my favorite Cuban restaurant in Miami. For whoever lives in Miami.
We'll see if they charge in it. It's buzzkill. And then somebody said, "See it, la sarita."
No, it's Puerto Segura. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I love it. It's in South Beach.
We've got hello from Detroit. Hello.
How come everyone on your side is telling you where they're from, but none of my followers are saying where they're from? Come on.
Let's see here. Somebody said, "See winter," as in the crypto winter. Probably be initiated by institutional investors. Majority of Doge is owned by institutional. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That happens in kind of everything. They're going to make more of a sell-off for a couple of years so that when it comes up again in 3 or 4 years, it goes really big and off the charts and everything again. It's likely.
Here we go.
Said there's a lot of good places to eat here.
Yeah, New York, Florida, Georgia. Yeah, New York, Georgia, Canada, and Medic. Is that's the number from Lost, right? 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. I feel like that's the number from Lost. Did you ever watch Lost?
No, I didn't get into it.
Sierra.
Maybe I will. I'm a crime show kind of gal. If people aren't being murdered, it's
then you love
I don't know. Somebody on here said that they're new to crypto. Really don't know what I'm doing. By all means, feel free to reach out. I know that we're not really going to touch on that in this video, but if you there's tons of way to reach out. A lot of other good people that you can follow as well. If you didn't want to just do like a one-on-one or reach out with me, Crypto Wendy is a great person, and there's a couple more on my page. So feel free to follow up or to reach out by any means necessary.
Eric Felix wants to know, how do you think the U.S. government will regulate crypto in the future?
Just based off of the way that Biden has been doing everything, I think that he's going to try to tax it very heavily, because I know that a lot of Democrats don't like cryptocurrency as it is. Like I think I put a comment on somebody's page somewhere when they were talking about it, but like Cuomo has like all out basically called cryptocurrency traders like basically scammers, and that he would do everything in his power to keep it heavily out of New York State. That's my governor. So that's what we're dealing with here. And I honestly, I think that that'll be the biggest piece of it. I think that it'll come down to, I think that they'll try to tax it more heavily to either add legitimacy to it or to knock it out. Time for a movie with the fam. Great to see you guys.
But also, I think Andrew Yang is very positive on crypto, right?
I think so.
And he wants to be governor, so maybe he'll do something. Dipset 451 says, shout out to Sierra. He's in the Hudson Valley region, or they are in Hudson Valley.
Oh, hey, I'm from the Hudson Valley. I have someone on here that had asked me, it's Peg Cheese, said, how does someone have enough time to work, raise kids, and pay attention to investing? I don't know if you were describing my life on purpose, or on purpose, or if that's what you're currently going through, but that's exactly what I do and what I'm doing. I know many of you have seen my daughter roll into a couple of our lives just because she needed something. She's usually good at giving me a little bit of time to get on, but sometimes she'll come and peek in. Tonight she's actually at a sleepover at her grandparents' house that she had begged me for it. So this is the first night in a while that I actually haven't had her here. But other than that, it's not as much of a juggling act as one might think. So if that was a genuine question, feel free to reach out, because I would love to talk to people that are going through like the same type of thing. A small tiny segue, and then we'll go back to the rest of the comments. You had mentioned earlier about how your YouTube started off like nowhere, and then the Instagram wasn't going, and then you joined here. I've been trying to, just because I don't necessarily trust TikTok as much, I've been trying to get more people to follow my Instagram account, not just because I can get call outs out faster, but you can also DM me. You can't DM me on TikTok unless you follow each other, which is a little bit of a difference. And I'm not trying to say that I'm a snob, like, oh, I'm just not going to follow people, but I wouldn't know who to follow if you were trying to reach out to me. Like, I would have to follow you first. There is no, it doesn't do, you don't get sent to a request column, like this person requested to reach out to you. But Instagram does. I don't get that. I don't get anybody. Everybody has said that they've tried DMing me and it's gone nowhere. And when I've tried DMing someone who we don't follow each other, it tells me that I can't DM that person because we don't follow each other.
Something doesn't make sense in that, because I've gotten that too, where I'll try to DM someone who doesn't follow me, and I get the red exclamation. Nope, you don't. But then I'll get people who say they'll DM me on here, and it'll say unless I respond to their DM, they have 3 DMs that they can send me before they can't send any more. So I get that one too. And I've had people DM me on Instagram going, I tried to DM you on TikTok and nothing. And
that's what I get. So Instagram's just easier.
I get tons of DMs from people on here with no problem. So none of this makes any sense to me on TikTok, how it works, because you're saying you don't get any. I get all of the above. I can get them. I can read them. I have problems. I don't get any. It's so weird. Yeah. TikTok is so weird.
That's why I'm trying to tell people, it's easier. I do call outs during the day, and by call outs I mean news updates or anything, because some people don't have Twitter, some people don't have all these alerts set up, so I do my best to get things out as much as possible. And then and so I do all of that, and I try to get it done. And so my Instagram is honestly the easiest, and I'm trying to urge more of my people, but I say it in every other video, and my followers don't go up. And it's not because I want followers, like I'm not trying to get Insta famous. It's just such an easier way to communicate with me because the DMs are allowed.
Yeah.
Somebody said over here, super important question. Does anyone know what her pillow says? So my pillow says Bears beats Battlestar Galactica, which is an Office comment. And if you're an Office fan, we should be friends because I have a problem.
Amar in my comment says, in 2018, I had 80,000 Dogecoin and I sold it because the gurus were saying it was a meme coin. And Robinhood had it for something. I don't know. I didn't catch the end of that comment, but the thing about this is like people buying these things and then selling it because of what the gurus are saying. If you're in something like a Dogecoin or Shibu just for the fun of it, and you're not putting in more than you are willing to lose, which if you bought Dogecoin in 2018, I don't even know what that was. It couldn't have been half a penny. It was probably even way less than half a penny. It was probably something that you didn't care if you lost all of it.
Yeah.
I think the lesson going forward for this kind of thing is if you're putting in, like, I have a friend who messaged me yesterday and he said he bought 7 million Shibu and it was $140. And it's like, if you don't care that you lose $140, I wouldn't listen to what each analyst has to say. It's going somewhere. It's a joke. It's garbage. If it's 140 and you don't care if you lose 140, hold it forever. Who cares? It's just for fun. Like what you're talking about with pie. Who cares? If 140 sounds like a lot for you and you're afraid that you don't want to lose 140, buy $50 worth, buy $10. You hold it just for the fun of it, and then who really cares?
You're not hurting anyone.
Yeah. Going forward, you bought 80,000 Doge at, it costs you a couple $100. Unless you depend on that money or you cannot lose it because your financial situation is so tight. I think moving forward, the lesson learned would be, it's a YOLO trade. You just hold it and whatever.
I have someone over here that says we should be friends, hint my username, and their username is Michael Scott Roast.
Somebody says, that's what she said. Hashtag the office.
Yep, hashtag office.
Stonk Presidente, John's in here. He says, y'all need to go on a date. I can't. She's taken. It's funny because my mom said the same thing.
Your mom's so nice too.
My mom watched our last live and was like, who is she? What's her situation? Where does she live?
Taken with a baby.
And we're taken with a baby. Yeah, in New York. What's up, John?
I've got Howdy from San Antonio.
Hey, Texas. I had someone from Texas in here too.
How
Eric.
is it?
Eric Felix. Eric Felix, you're from Texas. Maybe you could be friends with the person on her side who's in San Antonio.
Missed the jump, woke up, and was, oh yikes! I bought ICP at 419. Fell asleep and missed the jump. Woke and I was down 300K.
Hey, Trade Blondie is in here. She's in Dallas. We got a lot of Texans in here.
Down 30K. That's rough. That's rough. I would definitely be. I've been listening to on my drive home from work. Oh, that's cool. We're like a podcast now.
Yeah. We are a podcast now. Every day we talk about stocks.
Oh, I'm with it.
Medic says New York is the volunteer state because no one can force you to live here. Someone else is from San Antonio. 1 minute tales. Do you tell 1 minute short stories?
Ooh, I like short stories.
I like short stories too.
I just bought I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd, and I have started to read adult Harry Potter fan fiction. And normally, most of the time you have fan fiction, they can't be published because they're just they're whatever.
Right.
But you can get versions and you can get them binded if you find somebody who's willing to bind without commission. And I found someone in Mexico to bind, because I'm a paper person. I don't want to read
Yeah.
on the computer. I don't want to read on my tablet. So
Yeah.
I'm waiting on this beautifully binded book to arrive on my doorstep, and I cannot wait because it's coming from Mexico.
That's so cool.
Somebody said, I need better stock podcasts. You should do them. Oh, I appreciate that. And that is something, a lot of people ask me that because normally I have my microphone. They're like, do you do a podcast? And I'm like, no, mainly because this is going to make me sound possibly a little uneducated, but I really don't know what a podcast is. I know that some of them, it's people can listen to it in, because I see it on my Apple Music and stuff all the time, where you can log it to you can sign into a podcast. But then I also see people doing podcasts live where I can see these people. So I don't know exactly what it is. Is it just kind of like what we're doing, but then it goes through the radio waves and people can just listen to us? Or I don't really know what it is. Does it have to have a topic? Like, just, I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's podcasts for everything. But my old thought of a podcast was it was just audio. You just listen to it. But now people are saying, come check out my podcast, like Joe Rogan's on Spotify. You can see him. So Is that still a podcast, or is it just like a live interview? Right? I don't know. I think it all. Yeah. Someone says a podcast can be anything you want it to be. Then this is a podcast right now. Welcome to our podcast.
This is our podcast.
Who has questions about stocks? We're talking about stocks on our new podcast.
I have not a stock question, but I have, I just started playing around with options. Any thoughts on a good book? I had a few, honestly. Let me look at again, this sounds hypocritical, but on my book list, I have a whole bunch of them on here. But I'll get back. So I'm gonna circle back. I'm gonna circle back to that one.
I have no book recommendations for options. I've been trading stocks for 11 years. I still don't really trade options too much. And I always say, like, people who say, like, I'm just starting out, a lot of times, and I have a friend who's done this, she goes on YouTube and she watches all these options videos where they're like, I made 400 and something % on my option call this week, and I made tons of money. And new people get like really excited about that, and they're like, I want to trade options. Options are complicated, man. And I've been trading for 11 years. I still I joke about this a lot. I make like 10 options trades a year, and I lose on 9 of them. If you're new to trading and you're new to investing, I would say invest, then swing trade, then day trade, and then options.
I agree. I completely agree. I take a covered call every 2 months. One of the biggest things that people don't understand, because they think the covered calls are the easiest, but what they don't understand is that you need to have 100 shares to take out one contract. And that's not even the half of it. Then you have to have a stock that's in demand enough for someone to pick up your covered call. They want to buy what you are selling. And sometimes that just because you have 100 shares of something does not mean that you're going to be able to put it up for a covered call. Because people might not want it, which means it might not be there. Buzzkill, or was it Buzzkill, or who was it who had? So I think it's Buzzkill. So I just pulled up my book list, and one of the ones that I read 2 years ago was right in the beginning. Again, read it before I really got into the stock market. Read a couple of books before, and again, that was a bad idea, reading stuff like this, because you get in like with a confused concept about stock trading, in my opinion. But 3 really good ones is the Bible of Option Strategies, the Options Playbook, and just, it's one of the classics, Options Trading for Dummies. They have a book for that. So I liked that one. It had pictures. I'm a fan of pictures.
Pictures. I would also tell that person to follow Connor, Options Trading Daily.
Yes, please do. Yes, agreed.
He does a lot of videos about options,
way more than us.
Yeah, that I don't even know some of the stuff that he's talking about, like IV crush, and there's time like towards the expiration of the option. It's called time decay. There's a lot that goes into options that you don't you don't necessarily deal with when it comes to stocks.
I subscribed to his watch list just because I wanted to see what
His email list is great.
His email list, I wanted to see how it differed from mine. And believe it or not, they're actually completely different, because mine is more of like my weekly watch list of things that I'm looking at for the upcoming week, where his is like daily information that you should read that day. Highly recommend going to sign up for it. Mine and his are free to join, both in the links in our bio. But it is, and there's some things that are on his watch list that pertain to options trading, and it's just like, whoo, like, nope, don't know what that means. Like, I'm just gonna scroll down a little bit more because I don't know what that part means, because I don't do that extensive amount of options trading.
We're talking, someone just asked who, I just joined, who are we talking about? We're talking about Connor, Options Trading Daily, who I just sent him this, so maybe he'll come back in. Varg says, now that we're back on stocks, do you believe in investing more in sectors that you know more about?
Yes.
Yes. Connor, we were just talking shit about you. Just kidding. But so Options Trading Daily, that's him. We just had a whole bunch of people talking about options and asking options questions, so I'm trying to tell them to follow you. So maybe also go into Sierra's and comment something so people can follow you as well. So the question was that we're back on stocks. Do you believe in investing more in sectors that you know about? Yes, I absolutely do. And that's also what I recommend for new investors. Because I think you might agree, I get new investors all the time who say, I just don't know what to buy. Like,
Options trading.
Yeah, go follow him. I don't know what to buy. So many people say, I don't know how to start. I don't know what stocks to buy. It's too complicated. What are they? You start with what you know. And it doesn't, just because you use the company and you like the company doesn't mean that it's a good investment.
Or a profitable company. You have to be able to look into things.
Yeah, so you have to, like, and this is one of the things that I've learned from being on TikTok, is you probably agree that you have to add all these qualifiers, like consider, or maybe, or possibly, or potentially. Because if you say just buy the stocks you know, someone's going to be like, well, I use this shitty company and I bought the stock because you said it. So consider buying the company that you know, because not all companies that you use are worth investing in. But, like, just think about it in terms of, like, if you wanted a latte, you'd go to Starbucks. If you wanted a Big Mac, you'd go to McDonald's. If you needed gym shoes, you'd buy Nike. If just start thinking about the companies. What kind of car do you drive? Or, what kind of car do you see driving by on the road? Who makes your cell phone? Who makes your data plan? These are all companies that when people go, I don't know what companies to buy, you know more than you'd think.
Yep. One of my favorite quotes from you, and I quoted it a lot in my beginning, was, you always say, buy the stocks, not the stuff. And it's very much true. It's, there's just so many things around us daily. I know I had put out a alert, and I happened to stumble upon it, but I think we talked about it actually in our first live together, where I had talked about how I was just doing my weekly screening, looking for stocks for my upcoming week's watch list, and we didn't think about furniture. Retail's coming back, and we didn't think about furniture companies. And I let out what I would consider a tiny alert, as in I put out information on the stocks. And some people got into Haverty's and Ethan Allen and made a really good amount of money.
All right.
It was really sweet, because a couple people are like, I did actually listen to you. Like, is it okay if I send a tip or something? I'm like, you're so sweet, but no, you don't have to do that. Like, no, that's not necessary. But it just do your own research and think about the things that are around you. Not just blanketly buy things, but look into the fundamentals and to the profit margins of the company. And then look at when their earnings are coming up, how they performed on the last bit of earnings. Look at the chart, see if it does have a point of year that it ends up going up, like an escalated share price, then maybe consider getting in before that happens. If it's something that happens continuously, you're going to see a lot more patterns than you think.
Yeah. IK Fetz says, who are the stock talk guys to avoid? That's not, I don't use my platform to like shit talk other people. I don't really even know. I don't know who to avoid, because I follow the people who help, like Sierra, like Options Trading Daily, like Ashton, who, you know, like Medic 318, who's in the comments. I follow people like that, like Nalima, who was in here earlier. I don't follow the pump and dump, buy my course, here's my Lamborghini, here's my pile of money. So I wouldn't know. I get a lot of, when I caution against those kinds of like accounts, people always comment, "Oh, you're talking about this guy. Oh, you're talking about that guy." And I'm like, I mean, maybe
It could
I
be
like I
true,
click on,
but I'm not actually saying that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even know who half these people are, because I don't use TikTok to like learn how to trade, because it's what I do. Like I'm on TikTok. The people that I follow are my friends in stocks, like you and Connor and stuff like that, Medic. Um, but the people that I follow for like entertainment, it's like food stuff. So I don't really follow a lot of these stock talk people. But the comments in here, like, you know, I'm amazed by how many views those videos get. I am also amazed. The videos of like the like 18-year-old sitting in his parents' Malibu beach house with like the Lamborghinis in the garage, and he's just like chilling there, and he's holding like $10,000, and he's like, stock trading is so easy, and the video gets like 4 million views, and I'm sitting here going like, what?
Yeah.
It's just what people like. Yeah, Connor said it. People like drama. They like the flashy stuff.
Yep, and they like things that are going to get them seen and looked at. I have a comment on this side that says, "Can you pass the skin routine, fam?"
Yeah, what's up?
I mean, I care a lot more about my skin than I think most people in their 20s. Something that people don't know is that your skin begins to deteriorate, as in starts to go down. You really need to start caring about it in your, like, actually it's your mid 20s. So I will, maybe I'll do a video about it later. We don't need to talk about it here, but I have individual products that I use and everything, but it's actually a pretty simple routine. So I can follow me, I guess, and I'll do a skincare video, and we'll talk about the stocks. It's Sephora, so whatever Sephora stock is, maybe look into it.
Yeah, let's buy stock in Sephora. C. Bree, thank you. You're the most honest trader person on TikTok. I don't know if that's true, but thank you. I appreciate it. Medic says those videos with the Lamborghinis and stuff, those videos are the thirst traps for the money hungry. Totally.
Yep. Agreed.
That's what the people are after. They don't care about trading, and they don't care about investing. The people who watch those videos are impressed with the Rolex and the Lambo and the piles of money. That's what's attracting them to the videos, not the content. They just want to live vicariously through the guy who has a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily care that, you know, they don't want to learn how to trade. And those are the people, by the way, who don't want to learn how to trade. They just want to be told what to buy. They fill up the comments. What should I buy? What's the next hot stock? That's not what we do.
Yeah, they're just being lazy. Agreed.
They're just being lazy. Yeah. Well, Sierra, what do you say? Should we?
I think this is a good place to end it. This is another one. We almost went on 2 hours. We should get a podcast. Cheaper.
We should have a podcast.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, there goes my computer. I think this is a good place and stuff to end here. Probably dating myself. Someone says it's voodoo economics. Probably dating myself. It's okay, but you're right.
Trade Blondie says that Ulta, since we were talking about skincare, Ulta is up $11 today. Wow.
Yep, I had actually seen that.
Stuff.
Yep, I had seen that, definitely. It's a really big piece of the retail industry that is going up now that people are going back to work. So people need to start, you know what I mean? Like, people have been at home living on unemployment for so long, and now they have to go back to work. People are trying their best to be presentable again, and makeup industries are going to go up because of it. Trader psychology.
Tali is saying, I would enjoy listening to your podcast.
We'll have to set it up. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I think we're doing a podcast right now. We're just going to make our own rules, and we're going to say this is a podcast. Yes. Connor says bye. Peg City says bye. Thanks, Sierra. Everyone's saying bye, so I think everyone's leaving. So that's where we're
okay. Yeah, we're out of here too. I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays, guys, and I feel like when Ken and I get together and do live, we'll very likely do we'll likely do we'll do Fridays. I think Fridays work for us. I do have What is it? No, I can't see. Okay. No, we're good.
All right. Well, bye, Sierra.
Bye. Have a great night.
You too. See you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Hi, everyone. Trade Blondie podcasts are easy. Yeah, I have one. Rice Gobbler, you joined and Sierra just left. You were in here earlier, right? I had something FM or something Anchor. I had a podcast on Anchor, and I would do like a weekly YouTube show. I got bored. That's why I stopped doing it. All right, everybody, I'm going to go eat dinner. Medic, everyone should follow him. Unbelievable knowledge. I can answer a couple more questions, but then I was going to go eat dinner. Anchor. Yeah. Who has questions about stocks? Anybody? Because if you don't, I'm going to go eat dinner. Yeah, Anchor was okay. What's for dinner? I don't know because I don't know what time it is. What time? It's 9 o'clock. Almost. Ask another time. All right, everybody. Yeah, food first. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining. Not a question one. Hey, Thoughts ABC. Hi. Hi and bye because I'm leaving now. I'm going to go eat dinner. Peace. Bye, everybody.